Guys, you have no idea how happy this rest in peace makes me feel right now. Get rid of that trash graveyard. I know you're going to try and zombify it this turn, but no, get him out of here, guys. You know, I'm going to do it to him. Did I have fun that game? That's a skip for me because it wasn't really a game, but keep your backhand strong and use this graveyard. Bam! You have no graveyard. Hey there, neighbor, and welcome to another MTG Arena Standard video. Final Fantasy is here, and Final Fantasy is now, and today we are looking at the only character I know from Final Fantasy, and that is Cloud. And the reason why I know him is because I used to play him, honestly, quite a bit in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Nintendo Switch. So if you guys have played Super Smash Bros., shout out to you guys. But yeah, we're looking at Cloud, Midgar Mercenary. Whenever he enters the battlefield, you get to search your entire deck for an equipment card, reveal it, and put it onto the... No, sorry, don't put it onto the battlefield. You get to put it in your hand. So yeah, what we're going with today is an equipment deck. So we're playing a lot of equipment cards. I think the first one we'll look at is... I guess that's Cloud's actual sword name. You guys can let me know down in the comments the lore behind it, because his sword does look awesome. It's the Buster Sword. For 3 mana, you can put it onto the battlefield, and then it has an equipped cost of 2. And then, yeah, the equipped creature gets +3/+2, which is really, really nice. And then whenever you deal combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card, and then you can cast a spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the damage that you dealt this way. And yeah, if you're giving your creature +3, I think the minimum amount of damage we're doing would be 4 damage. So yeah, if you attach the Buster Sword to Freya, he goes up to 4 power. You would do 4 damage to the opponent if they don't block or if they have no creatures to block with. And then you get to draw a card, and you can play anything from your hand for mana value 4 or less. Thanks to the Buster Sword, which I think is a really nice effect. I think the card art looks super, super awesome for this. It's Cloud holding his sword, looks like he's glowing. So, yeah, the most expensive piece of equipment we have in our deck is Leyline Axe for 4 mana. But if you start the game with this one in your opening hand, you can put it onto the battlefield for free, which is really, really nice. And then it's a 3 mana to equip it. And then equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has double strike and trample, which is, yeah, really, really good stats. Some more pieces of equipment we have. We have the chainsaw. This card, I'll move it over here for right now. When it enters, you deal 3 damage to up to 1 target creature, and then whenever a creature dies, you get to put a rev counter on the chainsaw, and then you can equip the chainsaw for 3 mana, and your creature that it is equipped to gets +X, where X is the number of rev counters you have on the chainsaw. So far we have the Buster Sword, we have an axe, and we have a chainsaw. And then finally, one of the last pieces of equipments we have is the Dragonfire Blade. I love this card. I played with it a little tiny bit in the Tarkir Dragonstorm set. It just costs 1 mana, so you can get it down. And then its equip cost is 4, but this ability is reduced by 1 for every color in creatures you have. So Cloud just has white, so the cost is reduced by 1, so it would be an equip cost of 3. And then the equipped creature gets +2/+2, and they have hexproof from monocolored, which I think is just so nice, because so much removal out there now is just monocolored. If you're playing against mono red, all their burn spells, it is just, red, white, with Get Lost or Elspeth Smite. Soul Partition, all of those are monocolored. So Dragonfire Blade, another piece of really, really nice equipment. And then finally, it's not a weapon. It's, I guess you could call it armor. They call it the Lavaspur Boots, but I call it the boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. Shout out if you guys know that song. But yeah, Lavaspur Boots, you can also get it down on turn 1, and it just has an equip cost of 1, so it's really, really cheap. Equipped creature gets +1, it has haste, and they get ward 1 as well. So another really nice piece of cheap equipment right there. And then I guess finally, it's not really considered an equipment, but the card is Sheltered by Goats. I absolutely love this card. I think it's super, super busted. For 2 mana, you get to enchant your creature. So let's think of it as some armor. And then, yeah, you get to exile something from the opponent. Your creature gets +1/+0. They get lifelink, and they get ward 2 as well. So Sheltered by Ghost, another piece of really, really nice equipment. And then, yeah, finally, it's just a bunch of creatures. For 1 mana, we are trying Freya from the Final Fantasy set. It has the jump ability where on our turn, he gets flying, so he'll be able to attack over the opponents, which is really nice. And then you can actually tap this guy to add 1 red mana and spend this mana to cast an equipment spell or activate your equipped cost. So quite nice right there. We're trying Adelbert Steiner. He has lifelink, and he gets +1/+1 for each equipment we control. Kemba, he is rotating soon, so do keep that in mind if you want to craft this deck. This legendary cat says when he enters, you get to equip any piece of equipment for free the turn that he comes down onto the battlefield. So if turn 1 you go Leyline Axe or Dragonfire Blade, and turn 2 you go into Kemba, you can equip those right away. Really, really nice. We're looking at Giott, King of the Dwarves, also legendary creature. He has double strike, and then whenever he enters or whenever an equipment enters, you can discard a card and then draw a card, which is really, really nice. Double strike, that goes really, really hard with equipment, getting, +1 or +3. So he might be able to put in a lot of work for us. And then, I guess, Raubahn, Bull of Mhigo, also a legendary creature. He does have ward, which is pay life equal to his power. So again, if we are putting a lot of equipments on him, his power goes up quite a bit. So if the opponent does want to target him, they will have to pay a lot of life. And he says whenever he attacks, you get to attach 1 equipment you control to any attacking creature. So if you attack with Raubahn and Cloud, for instance, you could choose to equip a Leyline Axe for free to either Raubahn or Cloud. So another really, really nice creature right there. And then finally, I actually wanted to play a graveyard deck for you guys today, and I have just been running into so many graveyard strategies right now. All of these cheesy graveyard strategies. It's honestly kind of ticking me off a little bit. So we're running 4 copies of Rest in Peace. This will just absolutely shut down any graveyard decks that we come across. So yeah, I have a sneaky feeling that this one might be a MVP card, at least right now, with how many graveyard strategies are running out there. I do understand this doesn't really fit with the theme of the deck, so if you guys don't want to run Rest in Peace, which we'll see in the games if it actually does put in some work for us or not, but yeah, if you don't want to run Rest in Peace, I've looked for some other equipments that we could go with. So there's the Basilisk Collar. You could go with some Celestial Armor, Sword of Forge and Frontier, Sword of Once and Future, Sword of Wealth and Power. I might actually try this one in the deck as well. The Lionheart. You could go with the Magitech Scythe, Sword of Vengeance, or even the Ultima Weapon. So from the Final Fantasy set, this one did look really cool, but it costs 7 mana to get it down, and then an equip cost of 7. That is a little bit too much for this deck right now. But yeah, there's a bunch of equipments in the game. I've never really played with an equipment strategy. This will be one of my first times really giving it a good go. So I'm excited to see how the deck does, and I'll see you guys in the games. All right, we get to go first, and we have a really good opening hand. Opponent takes a mulligan. I just hope they're not oops all removal, because this deck does struggle against that a little bit. Opponent, I think, took a double mulligan, so that is too bad for them. Should have gone down Plaza of Heroes, but whatever. They might be a graveyard deck, so I really hope we could find Rest in Peace. If we could find a Rest in Peace, that would be really nice. Another Kemba, so we'll go ahead and get down the Samurai. Create the Samurai that has haste. Let's go. I'm speechless. Up the Beanstalk, we for sure will remove that. Ooh, and we drew a land, which is really nice, so we can go up the Beanstalk. Go ahead and give me that, yeah, and then we can just play another Kemba out. Give me that Leyline Axe. Smack the opponent for a bunch, and that's too much for them, so GG. Too much power too quickly. All right, guys, we get to go first, and we have Rest in Peace, which is... I'm happy I have it, because I just played a game against Yuna, and I could not find my Rest in Peace. I had 2 other games, and I wasn't filming, unfortunately, where Rest in Peace, the opponent rage quit right away. I don't think we have to get down Rest in Peace right away, so we will go with Giott, and we're actually not going to discard anything. I like our hand. Maybe Rest in Peace could have gone. I don't think they're a graveyard deck. Leyline Axe is an equip cost of 3, so maybe we'll equip him. Oh, opponent does tap out. Well, fear of missing out, so they are looking to put some stuff in the graveyard. Maybe it's just to discard cards just to grow this guy. Oh, it's an Oculus? Okay, for sure we're gonna just slam Rest in Peace. That card is getting slammed right now. Also shuts off their fear of missing out. Do I take the trade? I don't think so. Rest in Peace, or Sheltered by Ghosts will give us some life gain, which is nice. And yeah, Rest in Peace. Rest in R.I.P., buddy. You don't need that Oculus. No, we're not going to discard. I like our hand. No attacks. And then hopefully we draw a land. Could get both Leyline Axe and the Boots with the Fur attached to us. Another fear of missing out. But hey, you can draw and discard all you want. That ain't helping you, buddy, because of RIP. And I wonder if they were paying attention. Maybe not. I'm taking a little bit of a beating. Do miss the land drop. So I think we just get down the Sheltered by Goats. Go ahead, give me that guy. And then let's attach the Boots with the Fur. And now we can attack. We have first strike, so 3 life, 3 life. Back up to 19. And your graveyard shenanigans has been shut off. This opponent still is looking to draw a ton of cards. We do have... Oh, we have Ward 3 right now, so that is absolutely amazing. And what we can do... Yes, Filth Column. Get out of here with your filthy graveyard. You don't need a graveyard, buddy. GG. But yeah, this turn we were going to equip the Leyline Axe. Our creature would get +1, so he would go up to 4, and then he would have double strike. So yeah, he would have to block. Unfortunately, do we get trample with this? Oh, we get trample with that as well. So I think we would be doing 16 damage. He can only block 2, so 14 damage right there. So let's absolutely go. Rest in peace. I finally got a game for you guys, because like I said, game right before this, played against Yuna. She got a bunch of stuff in the graveyard, and I just could not find my Rest in Peace. And then I had 2 other games earlier where I forgot to hit the record button, and Rest in Peace came up big. So GG, on to the next. All right, guys, we get to go first. We have Cloud. We have Leyline Axe in our opening hand. Let's go. We also got the Lavaspur Boots, or as I call them, Boots with the Fur. Boots with the Fur. Whole club was looking at her. Shouty got low, 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 low. Let's go. Shout out to early 2000s club music right there. And let's get down. As nice as it would have been to get down Cloud, I think we would have gotten down Raubahn, Bull of Mhigo. And then, yeah, next turn we would have had 3 mana, could equip the Boots with the fur, and then when we attack, we could choose to equip the Leyline Axe right away. So that would have been a massive, massive +1. So 3 + 1 is 4. It would have been a 4/4 or 4/3, or maybe even just a 4/3 double striker. So 8 damage right there. Let's absolutely go. All right, guys, we get to go first. I like this hand a lot. We have Leyline Axe, we have Cloud, and we also have a Rest in Peace. RIP to our opponent if they're trying to do anything with the graveyard. Could be mono red. This is turn 1, 2, or 3. I mean, I guess we can get it down now. And then, as nice as it would be to get Cloud down, I think we could try and get down Raubahn. Hopefully they can't target him. I mean, he has ward, but they just need to pay 2 life. It's not the craziest thing for them to do. But if they do want to do that, it might slow them down a little tiny bit. Alright. So they actually might be a dragon deck. A dragon deck for sure. Alright, and then Cloud. We can get down Cloud, and then we can look for any piece of equipment. I think we will just get... Do we get the Dragonfire Blade? I think we do. Then we can play it. And then next turn we can equip it. I mean, if they do have some removal though, yikes, we actually will be in quite a bit of trouble because we have no more creatures. Alright, it's just a Screaming Nemesis. We can remove that one. So we can actually equip the Dragonfire Blade. And then there's going to be a big no attacks from us. And then we can just exile Screaming Nemesis next turn, but wow. Opponent drew another one. Even though we do have 2 sheltered by ghosts. This is pretty funny. Alright, so you can give me that pile of trash. And while we're at it, Mr. Yeti Snacks, you can give me your other pile of trash. So now we have a 6/3 lifelinking body Cloud with the Dragonfire Blade. Took both his Screaming Nemesis, and it was too much for the opponent. So GG, on to the next one. Alright guys, we get to go first. I did make a small edit to the deck. I did actually include the chainsaw. I want to try out this piece of equipment for a little bit, just because it does provide a little tiny bit of removal. So I think I actually took out both samurai swords and the sword of wealth and power. So I took out those 3 and included 3 chainsaws. But I like this deck, or this hand, quite a bit. And we're actually playing against Choco Bro. And I learned that the Choco Bows, I think, are from Final Fantasy, so. And we can actually get down Freya on turn 1. I think turn 2 will be Steiner. They are playing a Chocobo deck, might be the bird deck. Whenever a land you control enters, let's just go ahead and remove that one right away. Get to put a rev counter on the chainsaw, and creatures get +X +O, where X is however many rev counters. I think this Traveling Chocobo, pretty important for their deck as well, so you may look at the top card of your library at any time. So I think we do have to remove that one. So go ahead and give me that, and yeah, a little bit too much for the opponent. All that removal already is coming in to help us quite a bit. So I'm liking the chainsaw edition. GG. See if our opponent is here. It looks like it. We can go ahead and get down. Oh, we can't because, yeah, that. We'll get down the boots with the fur. Oh, Cloud could be nice as well. I'm afraid they might have a removal spell, so let's get down Freya, and then I guess we can equip the boots right away. Ooh, no stick from the opponent, so they actually didn't have any removal right there. A Sarkon, so they are a dragon deck. Rest in Peace definitely not what we need. Let's go ahead and get down Cloud. And then, what do we want? Should we get the Chainsaw? Could get the Dragonfire Blade, Leyline Axe, or the Buster Sword. I mean, we are missing land drops, so let's get the Chainsaw for right now. Smack the opponent for 2, and then next turn we can get the Chainsaw down, get rid of their Sarkhan. They play a Magmatic Hellkite. Little tiny bit annoying, just because we will really need to draw a land. We also don't have any red mana, so these two don't have access to them, and we miss the land drop, which sucks, but this guy can actually tap to add mana. That is actually really cool for equipment, so goodbye to your Sarkhan. And then we're not going to be attacking with Cloud. Next turn, we can get down Sheltered by Ghosts, Sheltered by Goats. This card is so good. And then this is a 3 to equip it. Ooh, they hold back. We do draw a land. It does come in tap, though. Oh, because it's the 3rd turn of the game. Okay. Or we'll pass the 3rd turn. We will go ahead and equip Sheltered by Ghosts onto Freya. Go ahead and take your Magmatic Hellkite. And then... No, I don't want to do that. I want to attack you. Next turn could go with another Sheltered by Ghosts. Could also equip the Chainsaw. Yeah, we do have a total of Ward 3. I was going to say, I could definitely see the opponent playing. I was just going to say it, man. Absolutely crazy. I guess that does mean the Chainsaw is entering again, though. Or, oh no, just things died. Okay. Alright, we do hit a land drop, which is really nice. Oh, but we don't have any red, so we actually have to just play Rest in Peace. But man, we're going to take 7 damage. Next turn we can play both of these, though. Unfortunately, none of these equipments give our creature any toughness, which again, that, yeah, River Regent or whatever it's called, does give all creatures -X/-X, so that is too bad. Rest in Peace also shuts down fear of missing out, so that is quite nice. And then I think what we're going to do, get this land down, gonna go ahead and play Raubahn. We're going to attach the Lavaspur Boots right away. And then we will equip Sheltered by Ghosts. As much as I... Yeah, none of these things give us any toughness, which sucks. So I think we do have to take out, or yeah, that fear of missing out. And now we can equip the Chainsaw. Smack them for 6. Gonna gain 6 life. But yeah, we do only have 2 toughness, so... Yeah, this Rakdos joins up, does nothing for them. This one will give us +2, so we will go up to 4. We will go up to 4. But then what did they get back? Yeah, we have no creatures, so we actually... Well, I mean, if they draw the River Regent, I mean, we also just lose this guy. I'm going to risk it for 1 turn. Hope they don't have that. I don't think he's called the River Regent. I keep forgetting his name. But yeah, that's a big no blocks from us. It's another Tersa Light Shatterer. Cut down. Yeah, so we're out of reach of cut down. Kemba is also a nice draw. You know what? Let's actually get down Kemba. We can equip the Buster Sword, and then I actually just want to give him the boots with the fur. And now Kemba can actually attack through. He could double block. I mean, he'll have to double block, yeah. And then we can at least take out the Magmatic Hellkite. Could I have given him the chainsaw? No, because that's equip cost 3. This one I can equip, so let's do that. Just to boost our toughness a little bit. So we are up to 4 toughness now. Wait, yeah, he can't pay all the ward cost. Because he has to pay life equal to his toughness, and we have 8 toughness, so... Yeah, that was too much for the opponent. Let's go. That was a fun game. Took a little bit of thinking. We did see that they were trying to do stuff with their graveyard again. So Rest in Peace just really helping us out quite a bit. Completely shuts down fear of missing out, and this Rakdos joins up. So let's go. And for once, all of the ward that we had actually came in clutch. So G to the G. All right, opponent goes first. We only have 1 piece of equipment in our hand and actually no red mana to cast it, but we do have, and again, we don't need 2 of them, but we do have Rest in Peace in our hand. And yeah, people are just trying to do so much cheesy stuff with the graveyard. I'm absolutely fed up with it. So I'm keeping this hand. All right. We will really need to... Should we actually get down Cloud? I don't know if this opponent is going to be doing... Well, 7 or more cards in your graveyard. I think they are trying to do graveyard stuff. Absolutely wild how much graveyard stuff is out there right now. Question is... Yeah, let's get down this guy, King of the Dwarves. You know, we can discard 1 Rest in Peace, but I actually don't want to show them that we have that, so I guess we'll get rid of... Steiner. Draw Kemba. This guy probably eats a removal spell, is what I would have to guess. No, it's the guy. Alright, I will definitely take that trade. And it's not even a trade, because... we have first strike, essentially. And then we can get down the chainsaw right now. Go ahead and blow that guy up. And then I will discard a Rest in Peace now to draw a land. That is quite nice. Alright, and then next turn, I think we get down Cloud. This land is going to come in tapped, so we're actually not going to have 4 mana. Unless we can draw a land. Another Shoreline Looter and another Rest in Peace. Kind of crazy game. All right, let's get down Cloud. And then what piece of equipment do we want? Let's get the Buster Sword. Card art looks really cool. And if we attack with it, then we can essentially play anything from our hand for free, which is really nice. Opponent is playing black though. They are hovering over our creatures, so can imagine that they start to get picked off pretty soon, but we have a few other creatures. That guy has ward. Creature would die. But it's an opponent. Is there other number of rats you control? Alright, yeah, we didn't draw a land. I still think we will get down... Yeah, we'll get down the Buster Sword. And then, again, we can discard a Rest in Peace to draw a land. Oh, that is awesome. So we actually do have enough to equip right now. And, yeah, let's just send it through. Let's just send it through. If you want to trade for Cloud, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Cloud kind of did his job. He found us the Buster Sword. And look, so this is actually going to trigger twice. So we'll actually be able to play something for free. Let's play a Buster Sword for free. I guess we can get rid of one Raubahn because he is legendary. Draw a land, and then we're going to smack them for another 4. We're going to be able to draw a card and then play something for free. Yeah, let's just play... Let's play this guy. If he wants to remove him, he'll have to pay ward equal to his power. He has just 2 power right now. But if we equipped the Buster Sword to him, then at least his power will go up a little bit. And yeah, I don't think double removal will save you. Damn, they did just draw a ton of rats right there. That's a big no blocks from us. We are taking a little bit of a beating. 3 toxic counters I'm not too worried about. Ooh, sheltered by ghosts. Absolutely amazing. Let's see, 2, 4, 5 mana, so we can play Kemba. Let's go ahead and equip 1 Buster Sword to him right now. I can go ahead and play a sheltered by goats. This guy just gives rats toxic. Let's just remove this 5/5 right now. And then we still can play Freya. Do have to take 1 damage for that, but we'll actually equip the Buster Sword, so we'll get +2. So we'll be out of range of their Rat King. And yeah, we're going to gain 7 life right now. So he does take the trade. Get to put a rev counter on the chainsaw. And yeah, we have 2 blockers right now. I don't know if they have a mass board wipe. That would be really, really sad. That may be a reason to not have played Freya this last turn. They're going to mill, so it does seem like they do want some stuff in their graveyard. They find another Rat King. Draw a bunch more rats. They just have 1 mana open, though. Gonna give us Toxic 1. Okay, they do have 2 mana to work with. Yikes, 2 mana to work with. Let's go ahead and equip this one. And then let's just play Rest in Peace right now. Get rid of their graveyard. And then this guy has 4. So I'm going to attack with this guy and this guy. And we are going to equip the Buster Sword onto Freya. Damn, I love that. Yeah, they had no instant speed removal. Yo, let's go. That was a clean game yet again. And yeah, I really like the synergy. This guy might secretly be, you know, MVP of the deck. Even though I think everyone, you know, put in work. Cloud was able to find some of those equipments. We had the King of Dwarves early on, able to go with a double strike. Yeah, we had the Buster Sword on him at one point, so double strike, so able to draw 2 cards and play 2 things for free. Yo, G to the G. All right, guys, we get to go first. Could go Cloud on turn 2 to find some equipment. And we also have Rest in Peace, and I have been a pretty big fan of this card lately. See what the opponent wants to do. Alright, so I think they are a life gain deck. This might be kind of hard to compete with, but let's go ahead and get down Cloud. And then let's get down the Buster Sword. I've really been liking this equipment. Yeah, I think we'll have to go with the Chainsaw next turn. Ooh, Deep Cavern Bat, that does suck. I think he's going to take our Chainsaw. But now that I see that he's not just mono white life gain, that I see the Orzhov, they could, of course, just be Orzhov life gain, but honestly, I have a feeling they might be playing the Raise the Past. So that's a 4 mana, I believe it's 4 mana, and you get to return every single creature that's mana 2 or less from your graveyard back to the battlefield. So I have a feeling this is a pretty easy pick for the opponent. They should get rid of our removal spell. But yeah, they might be looking at that Rest in Peace, thinking, who on earth plays that? But yeah, we can go ahead and get down the Buster Sword. And then, you know what? I will attack with Cloud. I'll take that trade. If they wanted to give it to us with either one of these creatures. They didn't want to, though. Yeah, the Rune Lurker Bat. I think they're just Orzhov life gain, though. I don't think they're going to be doing too much with the graveyard. Sheltered by Ghosts. That is quite annoying. Oh, we drew our own, though. I think we will get down this guy. Pass the turn, and then we can go Sheltered by Ghost next turn. Hopefully we draw a land drop. So we could take their bat from them. Ooh, the rest into your graveyard. So they definitely are doing some graveyard stuff. So, yeah, we might have to pivot. Maybe we have to get down Rest in Peace. But we'll see. If we hit a land drop, I think we will go Sheltered by Ghosts. Oh, you know what we can do? I think we'll be able to actually play both of these for free next turn. Because we can play Sheltered by Ghosts, and then we can attack. And when we attack, we actually get to equip something for free. So they may not want to take that trade. They send it to the bottom, and we do draw a land. So, yeah, like I said, let's go Sheltered by Ghosts. Gonna go ahead and take your bat. We will... It is just Ward 2, right? Yeah, it is Ward 2. Pay the 2. We get back our Chainsaw, and Cloud enters the battlefield. Let's pick up a... Chainsaw is going to be nice for removal, and then, yeah, like I said, we can attack, and we get to equip the Buster Sword. They do take the trade, but we're going to gain 6 life, so we're going to be back up to 20, and, I mean, they just have 2 creatures right now, so if they do play Raise the Past, it's not going to be the most effective. Wow. They're playing Day of Judgment. Kind of crazy. But yeah, next turn, we'll just get down Rest in Peace, and we'll just blow up the bat with Chainsaw. And then I think we're in a slightly better position. Can play Kemba, attach the Buster Sword for free, and then the turn after that, we can get down Cloud. What does this guy say? Look at the top 3, put 1 in your hand, the rest in your graveyard. All right, opponent, you really shouldn't have to think that long about it. You're losing your bat this turn. You are absolutely losing that bat. Ooh, we drew the Dragonfire Blade. That is also really nice. And as much as I would want to get it down, I mean, we see that they are playing just mass board wipe. That is another way that it can get around the, you know, hexproof from monocolored. So I think I do want to get down Rest in Peace, just because they do have quite a few creatures in their graveyard now. Yeah, we got rid of 1 bat, got rid of another bat, got rid of a 3rd bat, and their Rabbit Cleric. So like I said, I think we are just in a way better position right now, because we can get down the Dragonfire Blade, go ahead and play Kemba, attach the blade to him right away. Do they have removal? They don't. So now we have hexproof from monocolored, and I mean, I'm honestly not even going to play Cloud out. If he wants to use a mass board wipe to get rid of our Kemba, fine by me. Could of course have a, you know, a sacrifice edict type of effect, but I think we're sitting pretty. Yes, too much for the opponent. Like I said, I feel like when they hit us with the board wipe, I think we were in a better position just because we had 2 Chainsaws, I believe. And I really do think they were trying to run the Raise the Pass type of deck. We do see that they're playing a lot of creatures with mana value 2 or less. This one to, you know, throw stuff into the graveyard. So yet again, Rest in Peace just coming in clutch. And I'm actually going to attribute this win to Rest in Peace. I have a feeling they're holding on to 3 Raise the Past, and they have nothing to bring back. So get them out of here. GG. All right, guys, we get to go first. Really nice hand. Like I said earlier. Okay, wait. Before I get ahead of myself, because I definitely do that. This one, you might look at it and you're like, oh, red, white, land, play it. So you can play your red creature. This one only produces red if you have a mountain or a plains. So let's get down the Battlefield Forge, pay 1 life, just so we can have a turn 1 play. But like I was saying earlier, I did make a small change to the deck. I included the chainsaw just because having this little bit of removal has just been so nice. Yeah, look, can take away their little elf right now, put a rev counter, and yeah, just stop their mana acceleration. Okay, game, we don't need to draw literally all 3 of our chainsaws, even though I'm not complaining. Bah, big damage. Put another rev counter on both of these. And then equip cost is 3. So just punch the opponent for 1. I wonder if they're going to rage quit. So I think what we do first is we play Sheltered by Goats. We'll take this one because it's a token, so if they remove our creature, they don't get the token back. And then we can use Freya, tap him for 1 mana to play equipment spells. So say goodbye to your little chocobo. Dude, we have these 3 chainsaws just slaughtering all of these little chocobos. I do feel a little tiny bit bad. I can't lie. You may search your library. Yeah, so they're playing the bird deck. I have seen this around. We do have 3 rev counters on this one. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is just turn after turn, just equip the chainsaw to our Freya. He does get flying on our turn. We have lifelink thanks to the Sheltered by Ghosts. So let's just go ahead and equip this one. Bap, smack the opponent for 5, gain 5 life ourselves. And then, well, let's hope they don't pop off too fast. I think the life gain is going to help us just because they have no flying. So they smack us for 5. Cloud is a really nice draw, but like I said, well, if we go Cloud, what would we get? I guess we could get the Buster Sword, but that is taking 2 turns to do that. I mean, it's still a 3-turn clock for the opponent. Maybe I should have, yeah. Because we can play this one. Equip cost is 3 then. Let's just get the Buster Sword. And then, yeah, we'll just punch the opponent for 5 damage again. So they're down to 9. If we equipped both of these... They don't have flying. Okay, I think that... Well, no, because we can't equip both of them. And this just says when... Well, it does say whenever 1 or more creatures die. Cloud, you did your job. Thank you for your service. Oh, but all of them get the rev counter. Yeah, so... We're going to go up to 6, plus the 3 from this one is 9. So we got there. Let's go. Look at these chainsaws. All those poor innocent chocobos we killed early on. Yeah, that actually pushed us right over the finish line. 9 damage. Put it onto the battlefield tapped. So, yeah, they have... Well, they do have 1 green mana to work with. Can they give their creature reach? Maybe. Not sure about that, though. They can't pay the ward cost, so they can't target us. And I think we're just getting the salty rope. So, yeah. Like I said, I am really glad I put these chainsaws in. I think, yeah, I think you guys just saw from this game alone just how much work they can put in. All right, can go ahead and smack the opponent for one. Our original creature, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but our original 1/1 creature is up to a 9-powered creature, and that's 9 damage right on the dot. Gonna gain 9 life from that, and say GG, buddy. All right, guys, we gotta go first. His chainsaw does like showing up ever since we added it. We'll try it. We'll try it. I think we'll go Raubahn on turn 2 and just absolutely hope that they don't have any removal. And then I think we'll get down the Buster Sword next turn and we can attack and equip it right away. Opponent is thinking. They are thinking really hard. Yeah, I think they're going to remove our creature. That does suck. Ay. Let me see, they put an Etali into the graveyard. Can we please draw a Rest in Peace? That is absolutely what we need, and we need it really, really quickly. I guess we'll get rid of a Chainsaw because I don't think they're playing... Yes! I was going to say, I don't think they're playing any weak creatures. They honestly just might remove our creature this turn again. But we're going to hit them with the Rest in Peace. No way that they can reanimate on turn 3 to get rid of another dinosaur. Guys, you have no idea how happy this Rest in Peace makes me feel right now. Get rid of that trash graveyard. I know you're going to try and zombify it this turn, but no. No, get him out of here, guys. You know, I'm going to do it to him. Did I have fun that game? That's a skip for me because it wasn't really a game, but keep your backhand strong and use this graveyard. Bam! You have no graveyard. Hey there, neighbor. We're back right away after that last game that I just played where they got an Etali into the graveyard and then a Trumpeting Carnosaur into the graveyard, and we slammed Rest in Peace. We drew it at the most clutch time ever, slammed Rest in Peace, got rid of their graveyard, and they just instantly scooped. I'm telling you guys, secret MVP of the deck. And honestly, Rest in Peace, it can fit into quite a few different decks. But yeah, this card is just, I think, just so valuable right now. There are so many cheesy graveyard strategies running around right now. And hey, I'm going to be playing a few of them myself as well. I just wanted to get this out as well. I was actually going to play a cheesy graveyard deck for you guys, but I was like, no, that can wait a little bit. There are just so many people running those type of decks right now, and some of them do have some new cards, so that is cool to see. But yeah, Rest in Peace, I think is, you know, just such a shining card right now. If you guys do have it, slot it into a few of your decks, because like I said, it doesn't just have to go into this deck, but I threw it in this deck because I'm just so tired of seeing that. But yeah, what we were actually looking at today, let's put Rest in Peace back in the 2 mana slot. We were looking at Cloud, Midgar, Mercenary, and yeah, you guys saw from all the games, it's not just Cloud. It's kind of all of the creatures we had. We had one game where Freya just absolutely carried. We had another few games just where Kemba can just equip himself right away the second he comes onto the battlefield, which is amazing. You know, optimal line for you guys is to have Leyline Axe in your opening hand, play it for free before you even play a land, which is really nice, and then turn 2, play Kemba, just so you can equip the Leyline Axe. That is really, really nice. If you don't have that play, then the Dragonfire Blade on turn 1, or the Lavaspur Boots also on turn 1, and just equipping it right away to Kemba. So nice. And I think we saw in another game that Giott, King of the Dwarves, also a really, really nice card with the double strike, just being able to drop off a card and draw a card, really, really nice. And then out of all of the creatures, I actually think Raubahn was my favorite one. He does have ward, pay life equal to his power, and if you can equip quite a few Sorry, I didn't mean to put that land over there. If you can get some of the equipments onto him, Chainsaw, I'll speak about that one in a second as well. If you can get a few equipments onto him, his power goes up to, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then, if you've smacked the opponent once or twice and they're down to 8 life, yeah, then they can't even pay the ward cost. So last piece of equipment is the Chainsaw. Halfway through the video, you guys will see that I did make a small edit where I said, hey, I took out the Sword of Wealth and Power and the 2 Samurai Swords just to include this Chainsaw, just because I think we were lacking a little bit of removal. So yeah, just the Chainsaw being able to deal 3 damage, that kind of is the sweet spot right now to get rid of quite a few creatures in the early game. So yeah, and then anytime a creature dies, you get to put a rev counter on the Chainsaw, and the more rev counters it has, the more power your creatures will have. So that's our entire equipment package. This is our entire creature package, sheltered by ghosts. It's not really an equipment, but you could look at it as like a piece of armor, spirit armor or ghost armor, something like that. So you can slot that one into the equipment slot. And then finally, the last creature is Adelbert Steiner. I don't think we really got him onto the battlefield too often. He does have lifelink, which is really nice, and he does get +1/+1 for each equipment you control, and he is just a uncommon card. So you could probably, well, I guess Giott is also uncommon, but Raubahn, legendary, Cloud is mythic, Kemba is rare. I guess Freya is also uncommon, but yeah, if you don't have the wild cards to craft some of these other creatures, which I thought did a little bit better in the deck than Steiner, but that's just because I didn't draw him that much, you could definitely include Steiner as a 4 of in your deck. I really think you could. So yeah, that's the deck. It really is just, creature package with equipment package. It's mainly just swords, axes, and chainsaws. We do have the boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. And sheltered by ghosts, like I said, you can see those 2 as kind of armor pieces. And then, yeah, just a bunch of lands. I am really liking this starting town. I think it's quite nice. Can honestly fit into quite a few decks. So for all of you new players out there, yeah, if you don't have all of these dual colored lands, honestly, starting town can be quite nice. It does, I think, have to go into slightly, quicker decks because it comes in tapped unless it's your first, second, or third turn of the game. So you do have to get it out pretty quickly, but I have been liking the starting town. Might include it in a few other decks as well. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the deck. Secret, MVP is Rest in Peace, just to shut down those graveyard strategies. And you saw from quite a few of the games, yeah, people just scoop right away the second that you take their graveyard strategy away. So that's quite nice. There were a few other games. I think the very, very first game I played with this deck when I just put it together, I played against an Insidious Roots deck, so it completely shut that off. And I think over the course of my filming, I did play 2 other games where one of them they were playing Yuna, and I just wasn't able to find Rest in Peace. So I ended up losing that game, and they were able to utilize their graveyard. And there was another game where they were playing Oops All Removal, but they still also wanted access to their graveyard as well. And I think they had a Leyline binding, so they were able to remove the Rest in Peace from us as well. But yeah, Rest in Peace, I really think such a key card right now. And then I actually want to speak about... So I did enjoy this deck a lot. It was a lot of fun to play. I honestly think you're playing pretty fair Magic as well. You're not trying to do like a cheesy, graveyard reanimation strategy or use the most overpowered things in the game. I really think you're playing fair Magic. I've never really played with equipments too much myself, and I've actually really enjoyed it. So, but the part that I want to talk about a little bit is the sideboard. And these aren't actually cards that you should include in the deck. These are actually cards that I think are the best counter to this deck right now. So over the course of playing it, I played it yesterday and today, and I noticed that Oops All Removal, it's typically mono black, but the Pixie Bounce deck as well. Yeah, if they can just remove your creatures and you don't have that much card draw, you don't really have any high-end, top-end threats, that if they just remove your creatures for a few turns, you can kind of just be spinning your wheels in the mud. If you have all these equipment cards and you can't equip them to any creatures, yeah, usually you tend to lose those matchups. And it is quite unfortunate because Raubahn, he has ward pay life equal to his power. Sheltered by Ghosts gives you ward 2, which is absolutely crazy. The boots with the fur, that gives you ward 1. Dragonfire Blade, I really, really like this card. It gives you hexproof from monocolored, and most of the removal spells are monocolored, but even when I have Dragonfire Blade equipped to one of my creatures, I still don't feel safe just because there are so many ways to get around the hexproof, which is kind of crazy. There is in the Pixie Bounce deck and also just in Mono Black, whether it's the Demon package, they don't always play this one. Mono Black Discard, they do play this one sometimes as well. Momentum Breaker. Each player has to sacrifice a creature. So if you just have one creature on the battlefield with some equipment on it, yeah, you have to sacrifice it. Doesn't matter if it has hexproof. Doesn't matter if it has ward 10 or whatever. It doesn't matter if they have to pay 10 life. They don't have to target this creature. So Momentum Breaker gets around it. Shieldred's Edict is basically the exact same thing. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Smothering Tide. Sorry, not Smothering Tide. That's a completely different card. Tithing Blade. Each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice. Liliana of the Veil, this Planeswalker, target opponent sacrifices a creature. All of that gets around this ward cost, which is, yeah, really sad. And even if you have two creatures on the board, let's say you have Cloud and Kemba, for instance, or Freya on turn 1, Cloud on turn 2, equipment on turn 3, and you equipped, something to Cloud, let's say. Let's just imagine that happened. And then, yeah, you can choose which creature to sacrifice. So you're going to be like, well, I'm going to sacrifice the creature that doesn't have the piece of equipment on him. Well, there is nowhere to run. This card, also in the Pixie Bounce deck, also in just some other mono black decks that are running around as well. I think this card is so busted for 2 mana. Target creature gets -3/-3, and you can flash it in. And it basically says ward and hexproof doesn't exist. And it's not just for this card. It's creatures your opponents control can be targets of spells or abilities as though they did not have hexproof. And ward ability of those creatures don't trigger. So nowhere to run just completely negates all of this. And then I think there was even one game I ended up losing it because, yeah, they were kind of oops, all removal. I had 2 creatures. And I think I had Raubahn with a Leyline Axe and a Buster Sword, so he was up to 6 or 7 toughness, and I was like, well, if they have a Edict effect, I'll just sacrifice. I think I had a Kemba, or maybe I had a Steiner on the battlefield. I'll just sacrifice one of those. Nowhere to run. I guess if they had another removal spell, they could have removed him then, but I was feeling pretty good about it, and then they hit me with this card, Extract a Confession. Each player sacrifices a creature of their choice. So like I said, I would have just sacrificed Steiner, whatever other creature I had, but they were able to collect evidence 6. And then it says that the opponent has to sacrifice a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. So yeah, there are just so many ways to get around all of these ward and hexproof effects on our side as well, which does make me feel a little bit sad, but I still really enjoyed the deck overall. And then Rest in Peace is the key card. Look at all of these. I threw in the key cards from all the decks. There is the Azorius Omniscience deck. They need the graveyard to work. And they still can bounce Rest in Peace back to your hand if they have a Into the Floodmaw or something like that. But that shuts that deck off. Insidious Roots, that gets shut off by Rest in Peace. The Oculus deck gets shut down by Rest in Peace. The Raise the Past deck, so that's an Azorius deck. I think we played against one of them today. Yeah, for sure we played against one of them today. They didn't actually show us that they had Raised the Past, but I was pretty sure that they did just because they were playing a ton of really, really weak creatures, to gain life and, look at our hand, take whatever from our hand away. So I think they were playing Rest in Peace, and again, I think they were playing Raise the Past. Rest in Peace shuts that down. I'm pretty sure the game right before this deck outro where they put Nitali and the Trumpeting Carnosaur into the graveyard, I have a feeling they were playing Zombify, return target creature from a graveyard, from your graveyard to the battlefield. Rest in Peace says, no thank you. Rakdos joins up. We saw an opponent play that today as well, and they had no graveyard to work. And then finally, Yuna, Hope of Spira maybe. New mythic card from Final Fantasy. This is actually the deck that I wanted to post for you guys today, on Friday. But like I said, I have just been seeing so many graveyard decks run around. I was going to play a Yuna deck myself. Yuna really needs her graveyard as well. You can see return an enchantment creature at the beginning of your end step. Return up to 1 enchantment card from your graveyard. So yeah, those are just like really quickly from the top of my head. There still are other decks out there that like to use the graveyard as well. So I really think you guys should play Rest in Peace, at least for a little while. You know, maybe some of these cheesy, reanimation decks or other decks will kind of fade out. Omniscience, I think, is a tier 1 deck right now. So yeah, Rest in Peace, pretty nice against that as well. I don't think Omniscience is going anywhere anytime soon, which is a little bit sad. But yeah, I have been rambling on way too long. If you guys have stuck with me for this entire time, please leave a like on the video. In the comments down below, you can let me know whatever Final Fantasy card you might want to see me try out, or if there's just another strategy that, you've been cooking up in your mind, but you don't quite have all the cards to craft it, you can let me know as well, and I will try and make that deck for you guys as well. I've done a few subscriber requested videos so far, and they have been really, really fun to make. So yeah, just leave a comment down below. You can also say whichever game was your favorite. You can let me know if you're running Rest in Peace. You can let me know if you're running any of these graveyard strategies. You can tell me how your day was. I'll reply to all the comments, and I'm just going to end it like I always end it. I love you guys. Peace out. And rest in peace. Bonus game.
It warms my heartstone. Dominaria's treasures will aid us in our fight. Treachery befalls us.